This is the pride of high-speed rail travel in Sweden, the X2000 train. Using new state-of-the-art tilting technology combined with its higher top speed and minor infrastructure upgrades has allowed this train to cut journey times between Sweden's two largest cities by almost 25% since the 1990s. So join me for a trip on board the X2000 as we explore its international past and its exciting future. Our journey begins from the heart of the Swedish railway network at Stockholm Central Railway Station. Opened in 1871, the station has since grown to a massive complex with 17 platforms, with underground walkways also connecting it to the Stockholm City Railway Station for the Pendeltåg network, as well as T-Centralen, the central hub for the Stockholm Metro network. And as you'd expect with a station from those times, it has a lovely old station building. Heading into the main station hall, it only just gets better. With the main waiting area being covered by this colorfully lit roof, that looks even better during the night time. Inside the station you will find plenty of eateries and shops. On the lower level of the station you will also find a supermarket, as well as even more food outlets. There's also a facility to store luggage, as well as a small lounge area next to the toilets. Speaking of lounges, SJ actually have their own first class lounge here in Stockholm, which I would have had access to thanks to my first class ticket, but unfortunately it's shut on Saturdays. So let's consult the departure board and find our departure platform. We are catching the 11:34 Snabbtåg bound for Göteborg, which today is leaving from platform number 10. Platform number 10 is accessed directly from under the departure board, with all other platforms requiring a trip down the underpass, which has escalators and lifts available in case you need them. And it seems like platform number 10 today is pretty much dedicated to Göteborg trains. And around 20 minutes before departure, our train arrives into the platform fresh from the depot. Our train is formed of an X2 trainset built by a consortium of Kalmar Verkstad and ASEA from 1989 and onwards, and the train is capable of speeds of up to 200 km per hour in service. All tickets come with a seat reservation. The platform screens help you locate your carriage, as well as the displays on the train door. First class is normally found in carriage number 1, so let's head on board. The interior is already looking very Scandinavian with the wood finishes. With the seats being in an expected 1+2 layout, I have reserved this window seat for today's journey. You'll find the seat number on the overhead rack. Our train departs on time from Stockholm Centralstation at 11:34. As our train leaves the main station behind, we are offered a quick view of the oldest part of Stockholm, the Gamla Stan or Old Town neighborhood. But with us now well on our way, let's take a closer look at the route map for the remainder of the journey.
Förmiddag allihop och hjärtligt välkomna ombord på detta SJ snabbtåg 431 som tar oss ner till Göteborg.
That's right, we are on board SJ high-speed train number 431, which leaves from Stockholm, only making intermediate stops in Katrineholm and Skövde on our way to Göteborg. We are scheduled to cover the 457 kilometers in 3 hours and 1 minute, giving the train an average speed of 151 km per hour. As we make our way out of Stockholm, we quickly pick up the speed, which you of course will enjoy from your seat. So let's take a closer look at it, shall we? You'll find a very sturdy tray table, as well as a storage pocket with the SJ magazine. There's a cup holder, as well as a Scandinavian style bin bag. Down here you'll find the button for the reading light. Every seat gets its own power socket. The seat base is very comfortable, This feels a lot like a big armchair, and you could definitely spend many hours in here without being uncomfortable. Great job, SJ. And the train remains comfortable, even when the train uses its most important feature, the tilting technology. Notice how the train slightly tilts every time we pass through a curve. This is done to allow the train to pass through corners at higher speeds than what otherwise would have been permitted, as that would be too uncomfortable in regular rolling stock. This way, Sweden was able to significantly cut journey times between Stockholm and Göteborg from 3 hours 50 minutes before the introduction of these trains to 2 hours and 56 minutes on the fastest service today, using this technology combined with smaller scale infrastructure upgrades. Speaking of this train, let's have a look around it. In the vestibule, you will find some free newspapers for first class passengers. In first class, there's a small staff compartment as well. This is used for the free onboard service in first class, consisting of tea, water, coffee, as well as small snacks and fruit. This is included with the ticket price. Continuing down the first class carriage, you'll see that it's mostly airline style in a 1+2 layout, but there's a few bays of 4 with tables. In the vestibule, you'll find some more space for luggage, especially larger ones, as well as the first class toilet. And you know what time it is. It's of course time for the mandatory toilet review. The door is easily locked using this knob. The water is working, but you have to press this button. And the same goes for the flush. So, this is looking clean and is well stocked. Good job, SJ. In the next carriage you will find the second class silent zone, which on this variant of the X2000 has the same seats as first class. However, this is not always the case, as this is only a leftover from when SJ used to run 2 first class carriages on some departures. Here you can see from a previous trip the slightly narrower seats that can also be found in the silent zone. Next up, we'll find standard class, laid out in an expected 2+2 layout, with similar seats to first class, just a bit narrower. Next up is the onboard self-serve bistro. By the entrance you will find some takeaway bags, as well as microwaves to heat up any food. As there's not a full onboard kitchen, you can buy ready meals here to heat in the microwaves, as well as sandwiches, cold drinks, pastries. Honestly, a pretty good selection considering there's no kitchen on board. There's also a few seats here to sit and enjoy your meal, if you don't wish to take it back to your seat. The rest of the train just features more second class. As mentioned, these seats are perfectly comfortable and basically just a smaller and narrower version of first class seats. They also come with cup holders, power outlets and a comfortable seat base. We are now approaching our first station stop, Katrineholm, an important railway junction, as right after departure from here, the main line to Sweden's first largest city diverges to head south, bound for Malmö. After Katrineholm, I took advantage of one of the services only offered to first class passengers, the ability to pre-order a meal when booking your ticket to be served at your convenience. A meat, fish and vegetarian option is offered when booking on the website, which also comes with a drink of your choice. It was definitely not the most exciting meal I've had on a train, but it tasted good, and at roughly 13 euros, I'd actually say that's a fair price considering we're in Sweden after all. And once I finished the meal and had the table cleared, we were already coming up on our last intermediate stop, Skövde. This means I don't have much time left to tell you that these trains did actually not only end up running in Sweden. Other countries during the train's development showed interest in the train, and in 1992, Amtrak in the USA trialed the X2 on the Northeast Corridor. But that's not all. One unit was also sold to the Guangzhou Railway Company in China, operating in passenger service there from 1999 until 2014, when the unit was eventually bought back by SJ. And even some unpowered cars ended up in Australia for a short while. And despite the train's age, with some trains now being well over 30 years old, the future for the X2 is still bright. SJ are currently doing a complete overhaul of the train, replacing much of the train's electronics and internal components, as well as doing a complete overhaul of the interior. And I have to say, the pictures of the refurbishment looks absolutely great. Currently, at least 6 trains have had their overhaul complete and now run in service between Stockholm, Göteborg and Malmö. And speaking of Göteborg, we're now almost at the end of our journey. So how much does a trip on the X2000 cost? SJ operate with a very dynamic pricing system similar to airlines, and prices therefore can fluctuate a lot. Prices in first class for this journey starts at 295 Swedish crowns, which is excellent value, but keep in mind this can increase significantly on busy departures and the closer to departure you book. And here we are, arriving into Göteborg Centralstation at 14:28, running 7 minutes ahead of schedule, after a pleasantly uneventful journey with SJ. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as I try to post a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.